Oh, hi. And yes, I am. So, 2 weeks ago, I pumped out a masterpiece of sci fi fun, crapping all over one of my favorite franchises. And it was somewhat well received. And now, seeing as my little crotch goblins keep bringing me home the plague and killing my ability to voice act, I'm just going to do this instead of narrating a story this week. So, instead of my deep, soothing baritone voice, you get my best interpretation of an annoyed Celtics fan. So put on your cheap padded armor and your Jaffa helmets, boys and girls. I'm gonna crap on Star Trek all over again.
And here we go.
Alright, so now my stuffed up ass is going here, so here we go again, shall we? Last time I gave you fleet combat and how bad it sucked. This time we're gonna see Star Trek's ground game. Spoiler alert, it's still unbelievably trash. So before I jump right on in, let's get the things out of the way, shall we? I swear a lot in these videos sometimes. If you don't like it, I'll try my best to bleep it, but oh well, adult language, not for children. This video is for entertainment purposes only, so if I scorch your delicate little fifis or sensibilities, unwedge the stick from your arse and try to laugh a little bit. I know I am. And finally, same as last time, this is Prime Universe Alpha Canon only. If you don't like it, smash that dislike button. Or can you now? With all of that out of the way, let's take a big old bite out of this turd sandwich, shall we? And not surprisingly, combat is rarely shown in Star Trek, surprising exactly nobody. It tries to be a show about space exploration and diplomacy and stuff like that, so little naive, but that's neither here nor there. So it's not too off the mark to say the writers of the show are more confused about how actual combat takes place than, well, I've got a joke in here somewhere, I'm just not finding it. Oh well, here's a meme instead.
No.
And carrying on, let's look in chronological order, starting with Enterprise and the Makos, or the only time in Star Trek soldiers behave like actual soldiers, probably because it's pre-Starfleet and Earth had just gotten out of a war a few decades earlier, I guess. Either which way. And they display tactics and an actual acumen for moving. Although highly stylized and full of tropes, it's close enough for me to give it a pass. So, moving on. I'll avoid the long road jokes, as it were. And due to a total lack of infantry being shown in the original series and Next Generation, I'm just going to skip over them entirely. And we're not really going to bring the movies into it because there's only one scene I remember. I think it was Star Trek V, where they make mention of actual like Marines or whatnot. And what was it there? And the tactics that they display in First Contact. I'm not going to bring those up because, well, they're not really pertinent to the situation. Sorry, not sorry. Now, DS9 is where we see most of our actual infantry fighting in Star Trek, and pretty much just in DS9, at least as far as regular Trek goes, old Trek. So, we see real infantry, combined arms doctrine, and everybody just fails at it spectacularly. All of them, bar none. Even the Jem'Hadar, supposedly genetically engineered soldiers, display a complete and utter lack of skill and tactics and could have any sized unit wiped out by a company of actual battle-hardened Marines. It just goes without saying, like, holy crap, guys. So for the sake of brevity, because I don't want to hurt my brain too much doing this and crap too much over something I love, I'm just going to take a look at the big three in them and rip them up. And I'm going to start with the Jem'Hadar, or one of the two most useless warrior species in all of sci-fi. Their defining features are their clones, they've got relatively short lifespans, and they are wildly addicted to space heroin. Because giving soldiers copious amounts of mind-altering narcotics never turned bad for any army ever in the history of the universe. They've got personal cloaks, they can beam through shields, they're stronger than Klingons allegedly, and supposedly have been soldiers for thousands of years, but they display the tactical prowess and overactive, useless behaviors of 10-year-olds who got their first-person shooter for the first time ever, and are just ram-fisting their way through it. It's kind of unreal, really. There's that one scene in the show, A Little Ship. They could have literally beamed 200 Jem'Hadar into that ship, wiped everyone out, got their founder back, in less than 5 seconds with their technology. Yet they chose to send one in with a knife to get his ass kicked by Jadzia. Oh yeah, then he got shot by what's his name there? The kid who died. Because someone's always going to die in one of those shows. And next up, our favorite leather-bound heavy metal rockers from the dead with lobsters on their head, the Klingons. Or the absolute worst case scenario when you take a Bushido culture and make it a species. To give an example of their tactical doctrine, they've been known to ditch their disruptors in combat and engage in hand-to-hand combat. A tactic so woefully retarded that I can just leave it at that to tell you how useless they are. How they've managed to conquer as far as they did without getting their ass handed to them by any disciplined fighting force who can form a firing line is beyond me. But again, I'll just leave it at that. And finally, Starfleet. Starfleet, just stop. Please, just stop. Useless, oversized, padded body armor. Jaffa helmets. You've got phasers without buttstocks and sights. You've got loud, obnoxious sensor systems that can be detected during quiet situations from dozens of meters away. You don't use camouflage. You don't use cover. You allow your freaking soldiers to engage in war crimes and trophy taking in a violation of the Geneva Convention and the rules of war. During the siege of AR 558, I believe it is, that one soldier's got a necklace full of Jem'Hadar Ketracel white vials. First off, that necklace is loud because it's made of glass. 2, it's white. It can be seen. Why are things seen? Color, shape, shine, etc. These are basic rules of combat, and their soldiers can't be bothered to maintain it. They have a perfectly defensible position that they completely bollocks up. You know what? I'm not high enough for this. Starfleet displays exactly zero tactical acumen whatsoever in any situation, and it's a wonder they've managed to get as far as they have without plot armor. Star Trek writers, if you want to display combat, bring someone in who actually knows what the fuck they're doing. Stop trying to ham-fist it. You're phoning it in, and it blows all of us out of immersion. Just stop. And you know what? I just can't do it anymore, guys. My nose is plugged up. My head is swimming. I am going to go smoke a nice big joint and probably go to bed and try to sleep this off. Star Trek writers, just stop it, please, for the love of God. And yeah, other than that, guys, if I made you laugh, if I made you cry, if I made you shake your head and just go, what the fuck, dude? Smash that dislike button, smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. I try to respond to everyone on here. And with that, guys, hopefully I'll be over whatever the hell this is kicking my ass, and I will see you all in the next battlefield. Peace.